Oh, yeah. Song's on. Song is on.
Sarah, from Hey Frase.
Uh-huh.
Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah, from Hey Frase.
It's a podcast, not a cast pod. Hey, Frase.
Oh, how do I look?
Make you say, oh my God. She got
You look
the
fab, Sarah.
scoop on pop culture news.
Are you a little
Yeah.
tired?
It ain't what
I'm
you think.
beat.
It's Sarah and the crew.
You guys, it's the Hey Frase podcast. The crew is here. I'm Sarah Fraser, of course, along with the fabulous AJ, our producer, who now everybody knows on the street, and Leslie as well, who's our digital content creator, our DCC. And now when I go out, whether it's on U Street, 14th Street, the live podcast show, everyone knows these two. Last night at the live podcast show, these two guys were like, AJ, Andrea. They were like in love with you.
I was obsessed with them, and Sarah's blowing it up. Only 2 people knew me, but I loved them. I loved every minute of it.
Okay, it's called showbiz. You know, you put this. What?
It's called showbiz, babe.
Okay, it's called showbiz. We sort of embellish here to
Oh,
make
of course.
everyone like
Everybody fucking knew me. What are you talking about?
Right.
Thank you. Play along.
I have to say that I got recognized when I was shooting with you that This Lottery video.
I know. It's going to be hard to hear you. Wait, set up the camera. Is the camera set up? Come on in, Leslie, because actually I want to talk to you. We have a great show today, by the way. We record every week, Monday and Wednesdays, and then we're on Facebook Live. You can always join the conversation. Facebook, it's Sarah Fraser, just hit pages. But today, Julie Wright is here. You probably know that name because you've seen her many, many years in the morning doing traffic reports. She currently works for WJLA, which is Channel 7 or Channel 8. She goes back and forth. She's been a longtime friend of mine, and she was one of my favorite people when I first moved to Washington, D.C. and started out my media career here. She was so good to me. So she's going to talk about life, career. She's also married to Chuck Carroll, who has been on this show, has an incredible weight loss journey, and he's a vegan. So I'm, as you guys know, I'm living with Dan, my boyfriend, who's now becoming full vegan. And it almost makes me now want to eat more meat. Like the the healthier he is, the more I want to rebel. I think it's my old diet mentality. I mean, we can get into all my food issues now or later. We never know. So anyway, so I can't wait to have her on. And then Del Rey. Megan is here. She is the owner of Mind the Mat. There's 2 locations, one in Del Rey, Alexandria, Virginia, and the other one over in Arlington. So she's going to be here to talk about Del Rey, which is coming up this Saturday. And we're all going to be there, actually, so you can come out and see us. But anyway, Leslie's in studio, AJ's here, and I want to talk quickly about the live show, and then we have had a number of people reach out to Leslie in regards to her boob job that she wants to have.
Well, I'm going to say like AJ, only 2 people have reached out to me.
Play
You
along
both are
with it,
fired.
babe.
Right,
You both are
yeah.
fired. You guys, this showbiz thing you don't get, and now you're fired. We're taking an improv class after, which is yes and. You always
Yes.
goddamn say yes and.
Yes. A lot of people have reached out to me, and I have to say that only 2 I have been able to like reply because there's a lot of people like reaching out to me every time.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So this is like one person, typed in like years ago. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that.
Basically.
I have to say, though, huge thanks. Last night was our live podcast show, DC Improv. It was Father's Day. It was a Sunday night. The show sold out thanks to you. It was an incredible show. AJ was there. AJ, tell me, because I always think these things when you're doing a live show and you're on stage, it's very hard to read the audience. It's very it messes with your mind a little bit because there's a big depth to the room. There's 60 people.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating this time, okay? There's
100%.
60 people.
It was a sold-out show. No exaggeration this time, guys. Sold, I swear to God.
And it's hard to gauge, are people into the show? Are they not really into the show?
I know.
So what did you think, by the
So
way,
I
AJ?
was in the back. I was in
Yes.
literally the back next to the audio stuff. And I thought everybody was dying. I was dying. Iggy was even dying. I thought it was great. And you can't really tell because you guys are blinded by the lights. You got when you're on stage, you can't see shit.
Right. You can't really see the audience
exactly
and what's happening.
So from the back, it looked like a lot of fun. People were drunk. They were having a good time. They was ordering drinks. They were ordering food. They were laughing. Paul was OD per usual. And I thought it was great.
Paul was there on time. I was actually really impressed. I was like, this is going to be a good show. Paul was there
Define
on
Paul
time.
on time, Sarah.
Well, 10 minutes. I think he was there actually 15 minutes before showtime. That's big.
That's big for Paul.
It was great.
It is. But your shows are always good. Like the last time I went to one of your shows, it was like people were laughing and they were like very connected to you guys.
Oh, good. Okay, I never know, and like I am a little bit of a narcissist performer, so like enough is never enough. You're always like, maybe they could laugh more, maybe they could be clapping more. You're always like, what did I do?
It was hilarious. Sarah even told the crowd, like, what do I got to do? Have sex with Dan on the stage?
Well, I mean, everybody on there, right? Like, Danny was talking about she's this amazing. So, Danny Starr was also there last night. It was the first time the three of us had kind of tried a cast pod show together. So, she was talking about, I think she's been with her man like a year now, a little over a year, and they just are having sex nonstop. So, like, that was great. And then Paul's like, oh, I'm nominated for an Emmy. Like, the house comes down. I'm like, Dan, get up here. Drop your pants. We're doing it live because we're getting one upped left and right.
Wait, but I wasn't there to record it. That would have been so good for internet. You'll be like your own porn video.
Sarah
and stuff
Fraser,
like
the
Believe me,
sex tape.
I would
The
completely
sex tape,
release
yeah.
one. It wouldn't be pretty either. I look like I've already given birth to 2 kids. I don't have one. It's crazy. Yeah, my
You're
body's-
lying.
I'm dead serious. People were like messaging me on Instagram. They're like, "Give me all of your diet secrets." I'm like, "Do you want to see me nude?" It ain't like there ain't.
Send nudes, please.
I will. And let me tell you, there's a lot of things like with
Going
dimples in them. Yeah, exactly.
Dimples and stretch marks are natural.
Yeah, that's how you call them in English, dimples. I
Yeah.
have dimples on my face. On my butt, you call them cellulitis. That's not dimples.
Cellulitis.
Cellulites. Or
I
whatever
have
it's called in
cellulitis.
Spanish. I mean, in English.
I've got those too. I want to thank 2 sponsors today for the Hey Frase podcast. Then Andrea is back from San Diego. She was there, so we're going to talk to her about that. We have to thank Mark Livingstone, who was our sponsor last night for the Hey Frase live show, and he's our ongoing sponsor. He's the guy that you need to see if you're in the market for a mortgage. Maybe you're thinking about buying a condo, a house. Maybe it's your first time, or maybe you've purchased several homes. But they have you at Cornerstone First Financial. You can go to heyfrase.com, my website, HEYFRASE.com. You'll see Mark's picture there in the corner. Hit that. When you say that Hey Frase sent you, or when you use that customized link, you get all of your fees waived up to $450. I'm going through the process with Cornerstone First. I see Joanna. She's amazing, and I'm looking for my dream condo, which so far I'm coming up short.
You're getting there.
Mostly because I need to lower my budget. Also, speaking of vegan, Dan and I got to try Green Chef over the weekend for the first time. Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit delivery service that includes everything you need to cook delicious gourmet meals that you can feel good about. Also, ingredients come pre-measured, perfectly portioned, and mostly prepped, which is true. They're super easy. We did a meal this weekend. It was like a burger, quinoa burger. It was less than 30 minutes start to finish. Meal plans include paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, omnivore, carnivore, and keto. Am I saying that right? Keto? Keto?
I don't really know.
Is it keto?
Thank
Like the
you,
keto
thank
diet.
God. Keto.
Keto? Oh,
Keto.
keto.
Isn't it
Ketogenic?
a kettlebell?
Well,
Sorry. Keto.
Yeah.
Whatever.
For a moment, you were asking the wrong person. I'll be like, yeah, sure. Keto.
Each ingredient is thoughtfully sourced and its journey tracked from planting to plate, which I love. It's absolutely amazing. And Green Chef thinks dinner should be planned around your life, not the other way around. I totally agree. And I'm obsessed with organic and eating well. So we have been loving these meal plans, by far our favorite. You can go to greenchef.us. Okay, so it's a little bit different. greenchef.us/heyfrase. Okay. Healthier, wholesome, high quality. We are all about that. Order your box today. Get $50 off your first box of Green Chef. Just go to greenchef.us/heyfrase. So, Andrea, you went to San Diego. You are officially back. How was your trip?
I died a little, but then I also was obsessed with San Diego. I went to Hollywood. I thought it was trash. I didn't.
Yeah, you said that. Why? Because it just was super dirty?
Yeah, super dirty. I was expecting. Okay, so I didn't go to the right parts. Like, I didn't go to Beverly Hills or anything because I was there for 2 days. I had no time. So I go down to
Right.
Hollywood. I had to see the stars. And I don't know. I thought I was expecting to see amazing palm trees and lights and stars and
You gotta go
Leonardo
to Venice.
DiCaprio.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
did go to Venice Beach. Thought it was amazing.
Yeah, Venice Beach is really fun.
Yeah, I was with all my roommates, so we drank. We had a lot of fun. We ate.
And you got
I
to go to
shit my-
Beverly Hills. And
Right.
I know.
You
I know.
do.
Beverly Hills. That's that's where I should have gone. My friends are
Yeah.
shitty tour guides.
They
like,
are
what the
shitty
hell?
tour guides. Well,
Right.
speaking of shitty,
Right.
Speaking of shitty, guys, I literally shit my pants.
What?
When people say they shit their pants, they're joking. Like they sharted, but like they didn't really shit their pants. No, I literally shit my pants.
you
How
really
come?
did. Was this the
What's the
first
story?
time you'd ever crapped your pants?
Yes.
Everybody's crapped their pants.
I don't
Everybody
think
knows
so.
that feeling.
Yeah,
Yes, Leslie.
I have.
Yeah,
Really?
me too.
I mean,
Yes.
it was like I was a little girl and I wanted to like prank my cousins, so I wanted to like fart, and it came out The other way.
The other way.
The other way.
Yes.
Yeah, so the morning after, we had all gone out. I blacked out that night, and I wake up in the morning. I'm feeling great, like no hangover, and we're all planning brunch. We're all sitting in a circle, and then all of a sudden, I don't even try to fart, so it's not considered a shart, right? Like it wasn't even an accident. All of a sudden, I feel like warmth in my pants. This is so TMI, but fuck it. So I feel my pants, and I'm like, oh my God, guys, I shit my pants, and they're like, you did not. I'm like, no. For reals. I get up, and we had a Swedish foreign exchange student, and she goes, oh my God, she really shit her pants. As I'm running out of the room to the bathroom, the whole thing, I think we had bad drugs. I'm not going to disclose what drugs we did the night before, but I think they were bad.
You are my
my
favorite. This
God.
one is my favorite, right? Like you know what? Fine. Everything in moderation. Like do what you want to do. I do not do drugs because I know myself. And believe me, I would be the one that got the laced with like bath salts. I'd be eating someone's face off. It would be a mess.
Right.
But you
We know
crack
that.
me up. You are so religious. And then she's like calls and she's like, yeah, we did all these drugs. And then I shit my pants. I'm like, what? Who is this person?
Yeah, so my friend was like, you didn't have a good time unless you shit your pants. And I was like, you're right. You're fucking right. I shit my pants. It was great. And I brought back some edibles, so we're going to try them on Wednesday.
Really?
And then she carried edibles on the plane. I'm like, isn't that highly illegal? Like,
Right,
you
it should
can't-
be.
You
I know.
can't really transport edibles
So-
like, across state lines, right?
But then I think if
You're
the dogs
like a
can't
drug
smell.
mule. What is with you?
She like, yeah.
I'm a drug mule now. This is great.
Wow.
No, my thought was the dogs won't be able to smell it because it's in a sealed bag. And then on top of that, it's not metal, so the metal detectors can't pick it up. So how would they ever know? Right?
I don't know, but every
Unless
time
they-
I'm at the airport, there's a dog sniffing.
And you're like,
Right,
shit.
there's always-
even
Yeah.
even if you're not guilty, you think you're guilty.
Yes,
When the dogs
I know.
are around,
I would just
you're
give
like,
up my bag and be like, sorry, there's
AJ's a
weed
drug
coming.
dealer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot believe it. So not like they don't stop you. They didn't stop you at all.
No, well, maybe I didn't even check my bag. Like, I haven't unpacked yet. Obviously, my bag is still there. So they could have gone through my bag and taken the gummies. I haven't even looked for them.
So why are you giving us hopes of that we're going to try some edibles and you haven't even unpacked, girl? Oh, please, shut her mic. Come on.
It's Paul in the flesh.
Paul
Cut
reincarnated.
her mic, girl.
Okay, somebody
Yeah.
on Facebook Live who's watching, because we have people that work for the government, that work for TSA. So somebody on Facebook Live tell us, like, can you legally now in the United States carry gummies, like edible gummies? Can you, like, if you go to Colorado, can you come back with stuff, or is
If
it?
it's legal where you bought and legal where you're coming into, you should be fine, right? Because California and then
I
DC.
don't think so.
Actually, I was
know.
coming into Maryland, so I should have been stopped. The
Yeah.
fuck? They're terrible TSA agents.
Well, we don't even know if you have those edibles.
Correct. I'll give
So-
you an update on Wednesday.
We are so happy you're back. So thank God you're back.
Yeah.
Missed you
Glad
guys.
you had a great trip. Oh my God, thank God your drugs weren't too bad. They just were laced with clearly laxatives, but minus that.
Yeah, I'm so happy you're back that it took for you to go and come back. And now I'm in studio for the first time.
Isn't that? See, that's what has to happen.
Yeah, when you
I'm
leave, then
happy.
finally Leslie gets promoted to studio. So, look, I did want to have you on. Julie Wright is going to be on here in a second. We're going to talk about Julie's career in the media business in D.C. for many years. But I'm going to say like 2 months ago, Leslie, you had said on this podcast that you really wanted to do a GoFundMe where you raised money and people bought you boobs.
Yes.
And I was like, no way, you're stunning. You're gorgeous. You don't need boobs. You said, it's fine. I'm not doing it because I really want to do it for me.
Of course, I want to do my boobs, and I've been having that dream for the longest time in my life. I saw my sisters growing up, and they had these humongous boobs, and I'm like, one day. And one day, look at this. I'm 25 years old, and one day hasn't come yet. So I figured that one day is when I go into the ER and I do my boobs. So
going to the ER,
Yeah.
ER. Or you mean
That's
like
right.
the plastic surgery? I think they just
yeah, I
now do
guess.
it there. So you've gotten a couple messages though of listeners.
I have.
With what? Recommendations? Because I actually thought that people would be very upset about that. This is like, I guess, maybe a slight generation thing here, but I actually thought people would be upset. Like, Sarah, I can't believe you're encouraging like your digital content creator to get a boob job and people are going to fund it. But everyone's written in, they're like, yes, absolutely. Here's
Of
tips.
course. Everyone have been gritting me, and like I said before, writing me. And like I said before, I haven't been able to like reply to all of you guys, but I've been able to read just two of the people that have written me
you.
before.
Okay.
So yeah, they've been telling me to like
What did they
just-
read? One
okay.
of the messages.
Well, this is she's American, so
Okay.
I don't have an American accent.
Okay.
I'm
Read it
just
in
gonna
your
try.
Puerto Rican.
Hi, Leslie. I am listening to the podcast. Had my boobs done in 2012 and wanted to go natural. The doc agreed. It was like 32.0 cc, which at the end, it made me like a 32 double D.
Okay.
So it just depends on your chest. Do you want to GoFundMe? Get that paid for. Something around the lines there.
Okay, so let me interpret this. I guess this means
Perfect,
that she
yeah.
went like to 30.
It's just that I'm trying to do my accent. My American accent is not working.
Okay, noted. We need to change this now to Spanish. She says, Leslie, I'm listening to the podcast. I had my boobs done in 2012 and wanted to go natural. All right, you got that part right. The doctor agreed. It was like 320 cc's, which in the end made me a 32 double D.
Double D.
So it depends on your chest width. Definitely do your GoFundMe. Get that paid for, girl. Why people are like loving it. So are you, and you know, of course, Alexander Quillen.
Yeah.
Alexander, sorry. Quill.
Yeah,
Who's-
Quillen like a villain.
Quillen like a villain who
He was upset about it. He was like, no. But he never told me that he liked me. So I'm like, boy, pass.
well, he wants you to get the boob job too, and he actually said that he would be one of the first people to donate. So when is this GoFundMe going up?
It's going up today.
Okay.
I hope so. Yeah.
We'll
it's
put a
going up
link
today.
to it on our Twitter or Facebook page. Just follow @HeyFrase. All right. Well, you look gorgeous either way. But I mean,
you.
I'm excited for you. I want to see if the boob job hurts. And then I'm thinking I might get one too because my tits are really sagging. Like as I go along in life, they're just getting super saggy. And again, it's not like I've had a kid. I think I'm going to post a picture nude though, so people can see really what's going on here.
But
my
you can
tits are
do,
like so they like now they sit on top of my belt. Like I wear these big belts around my waist, and like the tits are like on them.
I know, but you can do like a surgery to raise them up a little. Like
A boob
instead of-
lift and then do
Yeah, a boob lift.
liposuction.
Of course.
Liposuction. I am not
Yeah.
doing
Like, tick, tick.
liposuction.
So I created a song today. You want to hear it?
Yes, let's hear it.
Okay, so it goes like this, right? You know, Hide Your Crazy by Paul Wharton?
We do. You
Okay.
you want the here? Do you want like
Yeah. Cue it.
do it?
The results are in.
Show. Oh, wait.
What is it, doctor?
You need,
Well,
you
you're
need
crazy.
boobs.
What do you mean?
What do you
What
mean?
do I mean?
They are
What
so
do you mean? What do I
small,
mean? You know
girl.
what I mean.
You need
100%
boobs.
certified,
Así
restraining
que
order grade,
go
chronically
get them.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
Is this news to you?
Yeah.
Well,
It's news to me.
no.
Well, no.
Mhm.
I already
I
knew
didn't
I
think
had
so.
them. I needed them. Yeah, sorry.
I think it's going now.
Okay. Why you don't have to have boobs? I don't know. But just, okay, so it goes like this.
Go for it. We get this.
Show your TTs. You know you want to show your TTs. I will show them once I have my...
Oh, you're gonna give us? Is that you have to do something for your GoFundMe? Are you gonna send us after pics?
Of course I will.
Oh my God!
I'll do a vlog
these
and
two. This is amazing to me. Two of the most religious women you have ever met in your lives. Their parents bathe in rosary beads, and these two do drugs and want to get boob jobs. It just blows my mind.
Right, and
Oh my
after the
God.
boob job, I'll do a tattoo. So AJ, are you up for that?
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I'll be
guys
there 100%. I'm
do
getting
it.
a tattoo with you.
Crack me up. All right, Leslie, thank you so much. Let's
Thank
bring
you.
in Julie Wright. Julie Wright is here. As I mentioned, she currently works for WJLA, which is Channel 7, Channel 8. You can catch her every single morning. She starts at 4:30 in the morning. This woman has been in the D.C. area on either radio or TV for nearly 16 years. I want to get all her advice. She is so beautiful and such a great person. Julie! Yay! Come sit and put those headphones on.
Oh my gosh, we are live right now.
We are so live.
Oh my gosh, now I'm nervous. Okay.
Oh, don't be. You can't even be nervous. You do this for a living.
Yeah, oh no, not really. That's why I wear booty shorts on the side.
Oh, I love it. You are
You know what's so funny? I was
adorable.
thinking about this. You and I have known each other for how many years now? I mean, back when you used to do traffic.
I think
Back when?
2005. I think we've
Yeah.
known each other for 13 years.
It's been a long time.
Because you were one of, I was saying this briefly before you
Uh-oh.
came on here. You were one of
Uh-oh.
my favorite people. One of my first jobs ever was Jim Ross hired me at Metro Networks overnight.
That's a blast from the past.
TOP traffic.
Yes.
And then, of course, I would fill in because a lot of people were SAG after. A
Yeah.
lot of people were in our union.
Absolutely.
They had a lot of time. So
Yeah.
suddenly I filled in. And one of the things I remember is Julie ran that Metro Networks. You would come in, it was the good old days. And you'd come in and you'd be like, Jim, get over here. And then Jim was like this little man by then. He'd had like weight loss surgery, so he was super tiny. And he just like have these round glasses on and he'd try to hide from you. And you'd like, get over here. And then you would just like run the office. It used to be
That's how
so
I run
much
my marriage,
fun.
by the way. That's the same way. Chuck!
Does Chuck give you a hard time at all? Or
Absolutely not. He puts up with me.
does he?
He really does. Yeah.
I
He's so
wondered.
laid back and sweet. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
We've got some
he's really-
pictures too that we're going to put up on our Facebook Live of your
my
husband.
goodness. Oh, yeah.
Of you and your husband.
Aw.
You guys, I know you guys are you look great together. And it's so funny because I
Oh.
knew you both in the media business independently.
Yes.
And it's always so interesting to me when like, you know, you meet Chuck Carroll and you're like, oh, nice guy. But you never, I'm like, oh, he'd be great with Julie Wright. And then all of a sudden.
In other words, what she's saying is, oh my God, he wants to date Julie Wright. What the hell is he thinking?
I mean, oh my God.
So
Julie,
this is right. This is us. This is typically what happens at the beach. He is like sunglasses and a shirt and, you know, a hat and SPF 100. And I go out there and I'm like rotating every 30 minutes like a chicken. So like a rotisserie chicken. That's how it is. He goes up in flames and I just turn over. That's
Julie,
how we do it.
seriously, you have always been so tan. Like
Yes.
are you just addicted to sunning, do you think, at this point?
Definitely. I am miserable. I am. It's true. I am miserable in the winter months. I can't stand myself. I can't stand anybody else. I have to be in the sun. I love it. I just go out there and lay for like 3 or 4 hours at a time.
But are you worried? Like everybody always just talks about skin cancer. Like, are you like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm YOLO? You're just like, I'm doing it. I
YOLO,
don't
baby.
care.
I mean, you know what? People smoke, people drink, people get in a car after they drink. I don't, you know, I'm not saying go do that, but that's what they do.
And you're
You
like,
know?
your vice is the sun.
My vice is the sun. Everybody has a vice. Mine is the sun.
I love it.
You know, I'd live in Florida if they'd pay me.
I know.
I can't go to Florida and live off of 42 grand a year. I can't. You know,
It's true,
I
you
gotta
do
buy
have a
shoes and
lifestyle.
bags. Yeah, exactly.
So tell me that, you know, you were always so very kind to me. You were always so generous. You were a woman that always gave
Wait a
advice.
minute. Am I paying her for this podcast? I don't know what's
No.
going on here.
I'm dead
Okay.
serious. You always
Aw.
really did. You were very great about helping other people come up in the radio and TV business.
Wow.
So
Maybe I should have taken some of my own advice. I'm still doing traffic. It's been 20 damn years. I haven't made it to the network yet. You think by
Was
now I
that
can
the
find my
goal?
way up 95? No.
did you ever want to be network?
No. I'm happy doing what I do. I like doing traffic. It's something that's forever changing because people are always running into each other. And it's something that actually is a service to other people. You know, telling people every day on the news that unfortunately somebody has died, unfortunately
Yeah.
somebody's, you know, kidnapped, I mean, yes, it's nice to be informed, but I feel like I'm trying to do something different. I'm trying to bring you bad news, but with a smile. You know, I'm
Right.
trying to put a happy, you know, a positive spin on bad news every day. And that's my goal. And that's what I try to do.
So you started out really in traffic, right? But you
Started
were,
off in radio, went to traffic, then did radio and traffic. Now I'm doing traffic.
now, were you ever approached to be on a morning show, just like to be the third person on a morning show? Because you have
Yes.
so much personality. Why did
Aw.
you never? Because traffic, I think, really is DC, Maryland, Virginia. I think
Yeah.
when you think Julie Wright, you think traffic.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Usually they associate my name with something else, but hey, I'll take traffic. No, I mean, back in Norfolk, I did. Seriously, back in Norfolk, I did. It was Mix 105.3 back in the day. I worked at Z104, which is like a hot 99.5.
Okay.
I did that. I was approached by, I mean, like you and I have known people in this industry for years.
Years,
But, you know,
yeah.
people from iHeart, people from CBS. So, yeah, it was always with the coveted, like, you know, hey, let's try it out for a year. Let's see what happens. And I always had so much stability, at least I think it was stability with traffic, that I didn't want to gamble. I'm not a gambler.
Ah, really?
So I didn't want to go and do it for a year and see what happens. And, you know, in radio, especially nowadays,
yeah.
it changes like every 18 months, it seems like.
Yep.
But even back in the day, I wasn't willing to give up security, benefits, you know, a pension plan with the union for a year. And maybe I have the job and maybe I don't.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And the stability does mean a lot. Yeah.
Because back then, you know, and I know I'm dating myself here, but it's like we didn't have podcast.
Right.
You know, we didn't have this other platform that we could use to get our voices out there. So it's like you either did radio or you did TV, and that was it. So maybe now, if I was myself, you know, 20 years ago and I had an outlet like you do,
Right,
maybe I
maybe-
would. Maybe I'd go for it, but, you know.
But you, I mean, even now, though, you have such a huge following and people really love you. Have you ever thought about that? Like, why people love you so much? Your fans really are very loyal.
You sound like my mother. Do you ever wonder why we love you? Because I wonder every day.
She does not. Your parents adore
No,
you.
I think, you know what? I try to keep it real. I don't come out pretending that I'm something that I'm not. You know, I'm a short chick. I I can highlight my hair, but it'll never be blonde. I'll never be the 5'8", 5'9", skinny blonde chick on TV. It's just never going to happen. It's not in my DNA. So what you see is what you get, and I just keep it real.
I
yes,
love that
I'm wearing
so much.
Spanx right now, and yes, I can't wait to get them out. It's like you open up the Spanx, and it's like somebody opened up a can of biscuits. It's like, boom, they just pop out. So
You could have been a stand-up comedian as well.
I don't know about all of that, but
But how is that? I mean, seriously, you've had a great career in a top 10 market, and you're
Yes.
right. And that's one of the things, too, I always admired about you, and I looked up to you because I've always shared my weight journeys of highs and lows and
Absolutely.
not ever being the 5'9", skinny, never blonde.
Right.
So did that ever like mess with your confidence? Or
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I had a news director over at Fox back in the day that said it was kind of like that Katherine Heigl movie. It's kind of like you're like this and we need you to be like this.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's like, you know what? It's just not going to happen. People, my husband will tell you, people will tell you your weight loss journey is you hitting rock bottom and being ready to do it. And when you get ready to do it, truly do it, you will. In the meantime, I'm stopping off at the Starbucks or the 7-Eleven. I'm like, can I get a cookie and ice cream? Both. And one of those pizzas. Yeah. I mean, that's who I am. And I don't make excuses for it. What I do, if you're going to judge my appearance on the information I'm giving you, then, I'm sorry. You're the one that's going to be stuck in traffic because the rest of you who are listening to me are going to know the alternate route.
Wow.
Let me just drop the mic.
Oh, that was so good about body confidence.
Yeah.
And do people, I mean, I'm sure you get both, right? I get comments all the time about my appearance, good
Absolutely.
and bad. And,
Absolutely.
and now it's funny, like sometimes people will be like, oh, you look like you've lost too much weight if like the picture's a certain angle. So do people still comment on your weight, or do you feel like over the years that's kind of gone away?
No, I have people that comment more about my looks. What is your ethnicity is still the number one question I get.
Well,
Still
that
the number
actually
question.
does. I did want to ask you that story because I remember when you were on with Donnie Simpson. Donnie
Yes.
Simpson for years thought you were black, right?
Yes, he did.
I love this story.
and I worked out with Dawn, his daughter Dawn. She was my trainer for a while.
Did she think you were black the whole time too?
No, because she actually came to my house. She was a trainer that would come to the house, and she would see pictures of my family. And the story is that he was like, well, what is she? And it's like, well, she's got pictures of her family, and they're all white. And then it was like, well, is she adopted? And the funny story is, if you go through social media and you look at my brother, you look at my mom, you look at my dad, and it's like, which one doesn't look like the others? Hello, there's me. So for Father's Day, we actually gave my dad the Ancestry.com. So we're going to try to find out
I love it.
what we are, or what I am, I should say, because I don't look like anybody else.
So does that, I mean, look, I've known you for a long time. It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like anything offends you. Does that bother you when people
No.
write in?
It doesn't bother me, as long as you think I'm a good person.
Right.
Because, I really think it's fun when people are like, we don't want to offend you, but what are you? And then I always like to play the game. I'm like, I'm Asian and Irish. And they're like, what?
Oh my God, people must be like, oh, okay, I love watching you. And then
Right, and then they
must freak
scatter.
out.
Yeah, there's Spanish, there's Italian, and there's Indian in my family, and I think I got all of it. I got all of
Wow.
it. So the dark hair, the dark skin, everything.
But so, Julie, I mean, in a time now where like positive body image and we talk about body image, but still people are so insecure about the way they look.
Absolutely.
What do you tell people? Because you're like, I mean, you are out there and like living it. And you know what I also love about you is you're no apologies. You're like,
That's true.
You're outspoken, you're loud, you would come into the newsroom and I don't think you ever cared that people thought you were too much. Or maybe you did, but now you're at a point where it's like, screw it.
It's not a matter of being too much. It's when I look at it this way. I'm saying what people think. And if that's too much, well, you're thinking it. I just have can I say that? I just have the balls to say it.
Yes.
And so I do. And that's the thing. And I don't apologize for that. I'm saying what is the popular opinion most of the time. And if I'm wrong, then I expect somebody to say, hey, you're wrong on this. And if you can't step up and say that you're wrong, then to me, that's on you. That's not on me because I've said my piece. And if you disagree, you have every right to disagree. Then tell me that you disagree.
Damn, how have you gotten to this place, though, where you're so cool at just being like, this is who I am? Like, and I've always known that about you. Like, you've always been a person, like, if someone has a problem, say it to my face.
Right, just say it to me. I'm right here. Because what else are you going to do? I am 5'1" on a good hair day. I'm not packing anything except a couple extra pounds, maybe 15 extra pounds, but that's it. I'm not going to, I might eat your lunch, so I'm not going to say that. But I mean, I'm not going to come after you. I'm not one of those people. So if you have a problem, just say it because I am. And I would rather know what side of the fence you stand on than guessing. I wonder if Sarah, what does that mean that Sarah didn't call me? No, I'm just going to say, yo, why didn't you call me? Let's just get it out there.
How did you get that? Was that from your parents? Was that from so many years in the media business?
I think it's having an older brother, and you have to stand up and fight for everything because, you know, he's 6'6", and he would stand above me and hold up like a candy bar and tell me if I could reach the candy bar, I could have it. Well, it took me a little while to realize, oh my gosh, I'm never going to reach up that high. But then I realized there's a money shot right in the middle. And then, you know, they fall just like a redwood in the forest. Boing. And then, you know what? He stopped playing that game with me. You have to be heard. You cannot be ignored. You can't.
Wow.
You have to make yourself heard. And that's kind of how I got into my union activism and everything, because no one's going to fight harder for you than you. So stand up, be heard.
That is great advice. It really is. What do you see today? We were talking a little bit about this before you came on, about newsrooms, how they've changed.
Oh, yeah.
But what do you see for women? Do you think women are advocating for themselves more than ever in the media business, or do you think no? Where do you think we're at?
I think there are certain women that are advocating for themselves more so than not. I would like to see women stand up and say, I'm doing the work. I deserve to be paid for this. And if you're not going to pay me, then I'm going to go somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing. No one's going to fight harder for you than you. And if you don't stand up and say that this is what you deserve, then you're not going to get it. Don't be afraid of not having a job. I know it's easier
scary.
said. Yeah,
Right.
It's easier said than done. But you know what? You yourself, you walked away. You have walked away from several offers to do what you believe is right for you.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. You know, and you can't stand there and let somebody dictate your worth to you.
Yes, I know.
And that's the problem. And I feel like you have younger people that are coming up that are trying to make it in whatever industry that they're in. They're trying to make it in this industry, and they're like, well, if I don't do this, then I'm not going to get this promotion or whatever. Then it's always going to be something.
Right.
You know, if I don't wear a shorter skirt, if I don't work longer hours, if I don't do this, it's always going to be something. So you have to draw the line for yourself. If not, that line will continuously be pushed and pushed and pushed. Yeah.
Wow. You were saying that people coming up now in workplaces, though, are much more sensitive.
Oh, my gosh.
That there's
my gosh.
So tell me about that. My God.
You know, starting out in this industry, the first thing they said is you have to have thick skin. People, you know, I remember being on radio.
Yes.
You laugh too much. You laugh too loud. You don't laugh enough. You sound like an airhead. You do this, you do that. Well, you know what? This is who I am. And if this doesn't fit your mold, then I need to go to another station that it does fit.
Yep.
And that's the issue, because it will fit. You just have to find the right spot. But you will fit in somewhere. And nowadays, I feel like there's too many sensitive people where it's like, oh my gosh, she said, throw me the pencil. And she didn't say please, you know, or somebody was looking at me funny when I was putting on my makeup. We actually had somebody do that one time. Said they went to HR because somebody was looking at them while they put on their makeup, and it made them feel uncomfortable. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't, you know, speak out for something that does make you feel uncomfortable.
Sure.
But I think that we have to keep things in perspective, and I think that we are getting too sensitive to things.
Yeah.
Somebody looking at you put on your makeup, they're probably going, wow, that's how they put on eyeliner? Or that's how they put on their lashes?
Yeah.
Or wow, I can't believe that's how they do the lip liner or something like that. I don't think it necessarily means something bad. Not everything is bad.
Not everything is bad. And not everything's about you. You know, like I think too that, like you were saying, the comment about, and you're right, you know, even when I went to Metro, you know, we had people that got upset or whatever, but you kind of, everybody helped. You know, you were a person that helped and guided.
Absolutely.
And, you know, there's a line. I mean, people can mistreat you, especially in radio. We've all know people who can be very abusive.
Yes.
But, you know, lots of times it's not even about you. It's their issue.
It's their issue, but it's also a matter of take into context what's going on around you. If you have a really busy day, which you know, it's snowing, you got 100 accidents going on. I'm not exactly in the, hey, Sarah, would you mind passing the sugar when you get up? You know, it's like, Sarah, I need a cup of sugar. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, right.
And don't get upset about it. It's okay. It doesn't mean I don't like you, you know, or if you're running past somebody, somebody's in your way and you kind of just slide them over to the left. I can't believe she put her hands on me. What?
Wow.
You know, if I'm going to put my hands on you, you would know it, right? I mean, that's what I would think.
It's scary to think where it's headed then. You know what I'm saying? Like, how then are people going to coexist in a workspace if everything is tallied?
Everything has to be said with sweetness, as if you were talking to your 80-year-old grandmother in a library. You have to tone it down. You have to say please and thank you and smile no matter what. And it's like, you know, I just don't have time. I got stuff to do. I got to get on with it, you know?
Wow.
And people take things to the extreme.
Yeah,
and
they do.
And I just think, you know what? You're never going to make it. If your news director comes in and says, hey, I need you to go from here to here, what are you going to do? Cry? Like, that's what they want.
I know. I mean, I don't even know if a news director would say that anymore. Do you think?
Probably not. Probably not. They would probably have somebody from HR come down and tell you that, they would like for you, when you turn around on the Beltway, not to cover up all of Prince George's County.
From HR.
Yes. Can you not stand? We're losing the Anacostia over here.
Well, people are on Facebook. You guys can always watch on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
We're live every Monday and Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Anna says, I miss you on Fox 5 in the morning.
Hi.
Sad face. I was going to ask you about that. For years, I loved watching you and Tucker. Of course, Tucker Barnes is the weather guy.
Yeah.
Because you two had great chemistry. You were like a brother and sister team.
He was an older brother. Just want to put it out there. He was older brother. Very much so the older brother. Still is. I love Tucker. I love Tucker.
You miss the chemistry? Because I'll tell you this, what I did find in radio is, at Hot 99.5 when I was on the Kane Show, the four of us had just amazing chemistry.
Yes.
And you almost begin to take that for granted until you leave. And then when you're trying to find other people like that, you're like, oh, shit, chemistry is really hard to create.
Well, and when you're in that position where you're seeing somebody first thing in the morning, like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's no makeup, those are your true colors. And yes, they're blotchy. No, but you have to get along with that person and you have to have that chemistry. And for Tucker, it just seemed, he'd walk by, he'd hit me upside the head. He would, steal my keys and run. I mean, that's just who we were. And I didn't take offense to it. He didn't take offense to it. We still talk almost every day. We call each other. We text each other. We make fun of each other.
That's great. Okay, I'm just throwing it out there, but I feel like you two should have a podcast because you guys are kind of like a married couple. You got the
Amos
traffic thing. You got the weather thing. I mean, I'll be your agent.
There you go. Wait a minute. I got a feeling this is going to take 10% of the income here.
I just think I'm working something here.
Here's the thing with Tucker. We have been through relationships, not together, but relationships with other people.
Right.
We've seen each other grow up. We've seen each other fall down. We've picked each other up. My mom was sick about 5 years ago. He was there. I cried on the shoulder. He went through a breakup. He cried on my shoulder.
Right.
We've had good times. We've laughed. We've hung out together. I mean, you don't work at a place for 16 years and not grow up and see each other change. And that chemistry, it's more than chemistry. It's a family, and that stays with you.
Yeah.
So even getting back together, talking on the phone or texting each other, it's just where we left off from the last conversation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you guys did have just incredible TV chemistry, and it's hard. I mean, it really was like you guys kind of had like Kathy Lee and Reed, you guys had that thing going on.
He's not that much older than me, but I love that. I love that.
Now, look, we talked a little bit about Chuck Carroll.
Yeah.
Chuck has an amazing career as well. He works for the Barnard Institute here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And of course, What the Health is the documentary that just exploded last year that was all about going vegan, plant-based.
Yes.
Chuck now has a podcast where sometimes Dr. Barnard appears on that podcast. So how do you said you're going vegan? Because I was asking you this. My boyfriend is starting to go vegan, and I'm like, oh, God, I don't know. Like, it's hard to be with someone that wants to eat that way all the time.
It's hard if you don't want to do it. If you want to do it, it's easier. I got to tell you, the hardest thing about being vegan for me is snacks. And that's my problem with weight loss, no matter what diet I choose to do. And believe me, I've done them all. Is the snacks, because I love my cakes, I love my cookies. Yep. And you can't just run in somewhere and grab a cake, grab a cookie, because it's not vegan. Unless you're going to Sticky Fingers in D.C., you can't just run by the nearest, convenience store and grab something. So that's the hardest part. The second hardest part really with Chuck is that Chuck never cheats.
Chuck never cheats. This man, I mean, I've known as a friend for years. And of course, I worked with Chuck when he was 300 and something pounds.
Yeah.
And Chuck takes his health, so serious.
Absolutely.
And when we're talking he doesn't cheat, there is no bite of pizza.
Right. No bite of pizza, no cookies, no cakes, nothing. Yeah. It's the most boring. I'm like, what?
How do you do it?
Yeah. And it's really hard because he doesn't do that. It's hard for me because I feel like, I'm snacking and then I'm taking the wrappers of food and throwing it in the neighbor's garbage can so he doesn't know that I was snacking. That's a true story. That's what I do. I go out with the dog. I'm here, look the evidence. And then, throw the paper out the window. Yeah, that's how I do it.
Oh, my God. That is so comical.
People are like, oh, my God, you're going vegan. You're going to lose a lot of weight. And I'm like, well, vegan cake still has calories in it, Whether it's a vegan cake or not, it still has calories. So that's the issue.
Oh, that's so fun. And how many years have you guys been married?
We've been married 3 years and been together 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
How is married life? Like, are you loving it? Are you guys having a great
married
time?
life is the best life. I'm telling you. If you haven't done it, you should do it. You should do it. It's great. I mean, you're a part of something. Somebody loves you no matter what. You know, you wake up, you put on zit cream, your hair's in curlers. You know, you're bloated, you're not feeling good. Man, I sound attractive, don't I? But, you know, you have those days. Women, you know, you have those days.
Yes.
And your guy still loves you no matter what. And you're like, okay, this is great. I love it.
And I mean,
And, you know, and it's true. Like, if a guy can go through your underwear door and he says he sees the nice panties, he sees the going out panties, he sees the grandma panties, and still loves you, you're good to go.
there's the test, the underwear test.
I'm just telling you.
Oh my God. What is next for you in your career? Because I just think, you know, you are such a Washington media staple. You
Aw,
know,
thank you.
You really, really are. And people love you. They love seeing you on TV. They really can relate because I agree with you. I think you are genuinely true and true you.
It's so funny when people say that to me. They're like, they'll meet me and they're like, oh my God, you're just like you are on TV. And it's like, well, I'm not an actress. So this is what you get. And this is who I am. And I don't know any other way to be. So what's next for me? Hopefully getting renewed. Another contract would be nice.
Yes.
Not ready to retire just yet. And I'm too old to go work at Hooters, so I'm in trouble there. But yeah,
You'd be
hopefully
good at
get
Hooters,
renewed.
too.
You think I could work at Hooters?
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God, you'd make so much money. Please, the men would love you.
Okay.
Men have probably always loved you.
I'd be like,
I feel
why,
like-
why do you need the wings when you can have the breast?
I mean, Julie, you've had to always do well, I'm sure, in the dating scene. Like, I mean, you just have this personality.
I mean, I've
that's
kissed a lot of frogs, if that's what you're getting at. Hey, how you doing?
we've all been
But
there.
you know what? You've got to do that.
Yeah, you do.
You've got to do that. It's the same thing with anything in life. You just got to jump in off the high dive and see what happens, because walking around the edge is not going to get you anywhere. So go out with the guy. I mean, if nothing else, it's a free date, right? It's a free dinner. You know, it's a free drink. It's a free, coffee, whatever. Just go out and see what happens.
I don't know. Now, in the age of everyone's sensitive, we might have to ask each other if we want to split the bill.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Just kidding.
If I was single,
I don't even. No,
look, if I was single and you were single and you were cute, I would just offer to pay.
Good idea. People, by the way, are loving this. Liz is on the Facebook. She says that Julie is totally telling the truth. Helen Preston says, Julie, absolutely love you. So you can keep weighing in on Facebook. I wanted to grab your thoughts on 3 pop culture stories, and then we're going to have Megan in here from Mind the Mat. Have you been watching any of the World Cup?
No. I'm sorry. You know what? Soccer is the one thing that I'm just like, these guys are running around like crazy. I am disappointed that the United States didn't make it into the World Cup. This is the first time in like decades that we haven't made it in. And it bumps me out because these guys work so hard. And at a time when we talk about CTE, like with football players,
Yes.
I also am very concerned about soccer players because these guys are hitting the ball. They're running into each other. And I always wonder, like, what is the story behind the story of soccer players? I don't think we know enough about what happens to them injury-wise. And so I would like to know more. Yeah.
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah. See, now I got to ask Dan all that. Well, I was asking you this because I'm obsessed with this company in Mexico that's trying to get women to watch more by giving them vibrating underwear. So every time...
You got the good underwear, the going out underwear, the vibrating underwear.
This seemed right up your alley.
Yeah.
So it's a lingerie company. They're actually getting a lot of backlash. They're called Vicky Form. If you want to check them out online, you can sync them with your phone. The idea is to get more women involved because they allege that during the World Cup, 4 million couples report having some sort of marital or relationship dispute over football. Like men are watching too much. So the idea is every time a goal is scored, your underwear vibrate. Would that get you more interested?
My underwear would vibrate. It would turn me on
I love
more.
this.
I'd
I know.
I'd be like, hey, Chuck.
I know. Chuck, you need these. Seriously, I would love. I think those are amazing.
Vibrating underwear. Can you imagine wearing that at work?
Yeah.
And then on the exit for 270, oh my God, there's an accident. Woo!
That'd be one hell of a report on JLA. That would really do it for Channel 7.
People would know. They would remember that report.
Oh my God, if you were giving traffic and then had an orgasm, like I feel like all of DC would die. That would be amazing.
Everybody would go to work with a
You
smile
got to
on
go
their
out
face.
that way. Yeah, you really do. Like whenever you are ready to retire, that's got to be the last
It's
one.
like that episode. Remember that scene from Howard Stern and he had the woman sit on the woofer?
Yes.
Yes. So if you had on your vibrating underwear, talk about a pothole. Wow. Okay.
Maybe they need to do them for potholes. That'd be great, too.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Yes. Now, do you guys have a dog? Do you and Chuck have a dog? You lost one of your beloved dogs, right?
Yes, I had Beagle Bailey. Beagle Bailey was 14, and now we have a new puppy, and his name is Rudy.
Oh, how's Rudy?
He's so cute.
Are you
He's
guys having
7
so much
months
fun?
old. He's a beagle as well, and we named him Rudy after the Rudy Inlet back home in Virginia Beach.
Oh,
So that's Rudy. So he has a little home feeling. Yeah.
Well, apparently now, according to a new survey, there are 19 gestures that your dog does that they're trying to speak to you.
Uh-oh.
So shuffling along the floor means scratch me. Do you believe that? Just
Shuffling?
Shuffling along
I know
the floor.
what the butt drag on the floor means. That means he's got to. That's what it means. He's got to go out.
Is it nature's paper? Like, are they wiping their butt or that means they've got to go?
It could mean both. It could mean both. Yeah. That happens.
You're like a neat person though, Julie. Like, do
I
you
am
go
neat.
do you go behind the dog and like clean the floors?
Oh, I wipe his little hiney. I do. I wipe his little hiney. Because he sits up on the bed and he sits up on the couch. And, you don't want to put your face where his hiney's been.
Oh my God, I'm with you. Absolutely. I wouldn't know any of these signals.
Okay, so what's the other one?
For example, some dogs nosed their owner's leg or rolled on their backs when they wanted to be scratched.
Yes.
Sometimes the dogs were found to try different signals if their first go at telling their owner what they wanted wasn't successful. But the most common gesture appeared to be a head turn, which is when a dog looks from a human to an object to show that they're interested in it.
Absolutely.
You believe all that?
Absolutely. It's kind of like a guy looking at a girl walking down the street. He looks back. Did you catch me? That's what I'm interested in. Yep, there you go.
These seem fairly obvious, to be
Yeah,
honest. They
yeah.
really do. But yeah, they say this is what they're meaning. This is what they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, there you go. It's
telling
like,
you.
all right, Julie probably knows that
I'm
one.
telling you, dogs and guys, they're really not that complicated.
And then I wonder, because obviously, like we were saying, we've both kissed a lot of frogs
Yes.
prior to. Have you been reading? I'm sure you guys reported this morning on the news the clarinetist, the story of the guy who was the amazing clarinet player.
Yes.
Who he got into this school in L.A. His girlfriend ends up deleting the acceptance letter.
Wow.
And then fakes a email address from the professor saying that the kid was declined. Of course, all this is fake.
Right.
He goes on. He's depressed. He goes on with his life. 3 years later, he decides to reapply to another program this professor was doing, gets accepted. The professor goes, "Why'd you reject me the first time?" He goes, "What?"
Right.
Come to find out. So
It was the
did you
girlfriend.
ever have any jealous boyfriend experiences that were like so crazy that were over the top like that?
Not that bad. I've had guys get upset when people recognize you, and I think when you're local
Really?
television or local radio, as it is now, and you're doing something like this, people are going to recognize you. They're going to come up to you, and they're going to be like, "Hey, I listened to your podcast. Hey, I see you on TV. Hey, whatever." And you just have to accept it. That's part of the gig. I mean, look, without you, there wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. So I
Yes.
appreciate that. I'm not offended when people come up and want to say hello to me. That's
Yeah.
great. I mean, that's what I want. I want to come across as the person you can say hello to because you can. But when other people get upset about that, that's a problem. You have to be accepting of who you are. This is part of the gig. People want
Part
to
of the
know
gig.
you.
Yeah,
They want to
do.
know you. They want to talk to you. They want to touch you. They want to see, are you really like this?
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, and you have a big personality, so I'm sure people want to know. And I can vouch for the fact that you are totally like what you are on TV, you are like
Yeah.
in real person.
That's it. I mean, people want to come up and they want to say, hey, how are you?
I know. I've never experienced anything like that. I've had girlfriends experience some pretty crazy stuff where guys have like stolen their mail, taken things, stolen their cars, like
That's
done all
why
kinds
you
of
never
crazy
let
stuff.
him come to your house. I mean, it took forever for Chuck Carroll to get to my house. You never let him come to your house. You go to their house and then you leave. I mean, that's just how it is. You know any crazy people at your...
Chuck didn't come over till like year 2.
Yeah. And now I make him pay rent and we're married, so... It's true. I mean, you just, you have to set boundaries. You have to take care of yourself. And,
Yes, you really do.
know?
Yeah, and sometimes that
I always
means,
find it funny
sorry,
because,
Chuck.
going back to what we were talking about earlier about, paying the bill and who does this or who does that. When we went out, I'm like, I'll come to you. I'll meet you at whatever restaurant. I'm an independent woman. I don't need you to pick me up. I don't need you to do this
look
kind of
at
stuff.
you.
Yeah, it's like, I'll meet you there, and when we're done, I'll leave. And that's how it was.
Wow, how long did you guys do that before you like?
Let him over?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it was a while. It was-
Wow,
Yes.
the Julie Wright dating theory. God, that's gonna be
Yeah.
on you and Tucker's show. That's
Yeah.
really good.
I'm just saying, you just
Tucker's
gotta...
gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, that's what he usually says about me.
Just
So,
saying.
yeah.
broker in this deal.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I want to get Megan in here from Mind the Mat. Delray is an event that's happening. You guys live in Maryland, on the Maryland side. But this Saturday, June 23rd, starting at 10 a.m. in Wellray, which is a portion in Alexandria, which we love. There is a all-day event until the early afternoon, and it's all about health and wellness. This is really like they're giving tons of free classes. So Ascend Cycle is doing something. Mind the Mat's doing free yoga. There's a beautiful art exhibit, and the art exhibit is all about positive self-talk.
Yes.
So it's all about, loving yourself, no matter how you look, no matter, what you're doing. So Megan is here. She's the owner of Mind the Mat. She's going to tell us, I know.
Hot Pilates. I love it.
Hot Pilates is right. You look great. Megan has gorgeous blonde hair.
Yeah.
And she's got this Hot Pilates at Mind the Mat tank top on. We love it. Get right on this microphone. We are big fans of Mind the Mat.
Yay, I'm glad.
You guys have locations in Delray and in Clarendon.
Yes, right next to you.
Yes, I know. I can
You're our neighbor.
I can go right down and do yoga. It's great.
You sure you can zip line?
Zip line
Do
right down.
you and Dan do downward facing dog together?
We have, in the past. Yeah, it's really good.
Do the neighbors hear you? I mean, see you do that?
Oh gosh. It got there quickly.
We leave the door open. We're like, fuck it.
Charging admission.
Listen and watch. Yeah, same price for the ticket. So look, you tell us about some of the classes that you do, because you really, we love that you're a small business, you're female owned, of course. So tell us a little bit about Mind the Mat.
Mind the Mat was founded on the premise that there should be a class for everyone. So we don't just offer one discipline, and it's not a one class fits all type situation. So we have classes for newborn babies all the way up to senior citizens. Yes. And so we try to catch everyone within whatever life cycle they're in, whether they just had a baby or they're 33 and new to the neighborhood. In fact, we just had a new person today in my class. And so we tend to kind of capture everyone. And we have about 130 classes a week. So if you are in the mood for yoga, we have yoga. If you have Pilates, we have Pilates. If you want boot camp, we have that discipline as well. So we have from cardio to strength and in between.
Is there boot camp for the babies?
Oh, yeah. They get up with these little teeny tiny weights. And yes.
Awesome. Wear them out. Yeah, exactly.
Start them young.
Describe to us, have you ever been to Wellray, Julie? This is only, third year, fourth year?
It started as a teeny tiny little event. So we call it fifth year.
Fifth year. So for people who are coming for the first time this Saturday, what is Wellray all about?
It's really about a community that tends to be healthy anyway with all of the businesses, et cetera, but we want to share it with everyone else. So all of these studios and wellness practitioners and people even outside of Alexandria want to be a part of this event. This year we're closing the street. And so it shows that as wellness professionals, we all come together because we want to support each other so that it only spreads the wellness wealth beyond that. And it's a chance for people to come in and experience these studios and experience classes for free. So it is a free event, and we are encouraging everyone to come. Kids,
dog friendly.
We're not gonna hate on the dogs. We're gonna have the dogs come in. We even may have a few events for dogs. We'll something up our sleeves.
I like the fact that you bring everybody in as a community, because what I'm finding is that as people try to either become vegetarians or vegans, it's hard to find different foods. That's what I was telling Sarah earlier. So I like the fact that you guys are bringing everybody together to show them, hey, this is how you can get fit. This is how you can eat. This is how you can cook. I love that.
Yeah, and we'll even have healthy, a lot of our restaurants. We have amazing restaurants in Delray, locally owned, a lot of women-owned restaurants as well. And they're offering
and also teach the kids how to eat better.
Yeah, that's so important, right? I mean, I don't know about you growing up, but I grew up on McDonald's and, Pepsi and chips in the car and Taco Bell. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it really wasn't until my 20s. I learned really about health. So it's so important for kids because I think, of course, parents are busy. It's tough and it's expensive at times. So it's hard. But yeah, just beginning to learn that.
Well, it's great, too, because not just the nutrition component, which is huge, but to have children see their parents exercising. And I try to do that with my boys all the time. I'll work out at home. I'll go and work out. I want them seeing me active so that they can pick up on it, too, and not play video games all day.
Yeah, I'm sure the boys would love that.
Oh, they would.
No, we had Ascend Cycle in here. If you want to take an Ascend Cycle class, you have to go to their website, or you can go to wellraydelray.com. What do we have to do for Mind the Mat?
Everything is central at wellraydelray.com.
Okay.
And you actually, for Ascend, for sure, sign up for those classes because they have limited bikes. But we're open. We just would like to get an idea of how many people are coming to the classes. So if you're like, oh, darn, I didn't sign up for these classes, don't stay at home.
Okay.
We'll fit you in. And we have tons. So go to wellraydelray.com. The whole schedule is up there posted. You can click on the links, and we have so much to offer. It's exciting.
It's so exciting. Do you want to thank your sponsors, too? We have a big sponsor.
Yes, our main sponsor is the Jen Walker team, and she is an amazing friend, but also she has done so much for our Delray community, and her tagline is amazing. It is spread kindness and build community, and that's exactly what Well Ray does as well. So Jen
that's
Walker
awesome.
is our main headline sponsor, and we're so happy to have her for 2 years in a row.
Well, Megan, we will see you on Saturday. We're going to be here, the Hey Frase crew. Leslie's going to be there, AJ, myself. We're going to podcast live. We're going to do some classes and just celebrate our bodies, and we're so excited. So
Can't wait.
Thank
Can't
you for
wait.
being here. WellRayDelray.com. You can get registered. You can stick around. We do one more segment. We do a thing at the end of the show called Pineapple Mail, which essentially is where we read various emails from listeners.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
This one's actually pretty PG. Hey, Sarah, I was wondering if it would be possible for you to share with me a way that I can get in touch with Sammy Simpson. Now, Sammy Simpson is a guy who's been on my show who really helped me. I mean, he's sort of a life coach, but he doesn't kind of go with that. I've heard him on the show, and I've been looking for jobs for the last 4 to 5 months, but still feel like I'm not sure what I want. I was thinking that working with him could really help. Thank you so much, Simona. So I'll give Sammy's email, but I wanted to ask you guys, did you ever work with a life coach, anybody that kind of guided you to what you want to do? And is there any recommendations you'd have for Simona of someone?
I usually work with the devil. Simona.
I know my own charms and potions.
Right. So, no, Simona, I would say, figuring out what you want to do and do it well and just go for it. I don't know about you as far as the fitness and community, but for me, growing up, it was, you talk all the time. You might as well do broadcasting. And it kind of made sense. So what about for you?
I think for me, I'm a physical therapist, and I just wanted to be in the industry. And so it's simple for us. We just would follow a PT that we liked. And that was a mentorship for me. So find a mentor first and really decide if that's actually what you want to go into.
Oh, that's a good way to kind of feel the waters before you go
Absolutely.
all in.
Yeah, because it's expensive to go to physical therapy school and become a health practitioner. So you have to really understand that you want to do that. profession.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and Simona, Sammy, who has been on the show, his email is SammyWSimpson, SIMPSON @gmail.com. So we always like to share that and kind of have people that just, how you've discovered your passion. Because I think, Julie, like for you and me and even for you, Megan, I take it for granted. Like I'm the same way. I knew from the time I was 8, I talked all the time. I loved entertaining people. Yep. I knew what I was going to do, but I've seen so many friends struggle, even their 20s, their 30s. It's like, what is the passion?
What do you
hard.
like?
It has to be there. If you're not passionate about what you do, you're just going to go through the motions and be unhappy.
And also remember this. I tell little kids this at Career Day. Yes, they let me talk at Career Day. A job is something that you do to pay the rent. A career is something you do because it's your calling. It's something you want to get up in the morning and do. It's what you love to do.
Yes.
So think about it that way. You're looking for a job. You're looking for a career.
By the way, your husband just jumped on Facebook and he said, Julie doesn't let me on the 3rd floor, living room and kitchen only. What? What's going on at your house? You can't even, doesn't Chuck pay rent? He can't even go on the 3rd floor? That's amazing.
I want to keep the bedroom nice and neat.
Yeah, okay.
That's why you never want to sit on the couch when you come to my house.
Megan, thank you so much. Well, Ray Doing. Julie, where can people find you and follow you? You're fabulous. You're just wonderful.
After this podcast, on the Hooters on the corner. At the Julie Wright. At the Julie Wright. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You got it.
You're awesome. Thank you guys so much. You can always follow me at Hey Frase. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Love you, Sarah.
Love you. Julie, Megan, you guys are amazing.